This is one of the fastest ways to spot a beginner Tableau dashboard. Mistake number one is using color just because it's there. A lot of beginners give every bar or every mark or every category a different color. For example, we have this daily sales up here that has two colors. We have this units by retailer, which has two colors, but they also match the first one, so maybe that's okay. But we have the sales by product that's a pie chart across all of the different states, and it's got 6 different colors, almost impossible to understand. But one thing you'll notice is across this dashboard, the same colors are used to mean different things. That's when dashboards start to feel noisy. The fix is quite simple. Use a much more neutral palette for most of the dashboard, then use one stronger color when you want the user to focus on a specific thing. What do I mean by that? Let's start with this daily sales dashboard. Let's go ahead and go to that sheet. Do we really need both metrics? Probably not. Let's look at just sales for now. And right now, we just have a single color, but it feels really busy because it has all of these day-to-day fluctuations. So maybe let's aggregate the data up to the monthly level. Okay, there you go, much better. And to ensure that our users can get a quick glance at what's going on, we're going to go ahead and label the end of the line. Click on the label shelf, turn on the mark labels, and just choose this most recent option. And there you go, that's our first chart cleaned up. Okay, let's go back to our units and sales by retailer. Perhaps the same thing here, let's just use sales. So let's take the units sold off of the view. That means we can take measure names off of the view as well. And then let's sort it in descending order so that our users have an idea on which products are selling the most. And all we need to do to sort is click on the little sort icon on the toolbar. And now we can see that Westgear and Foot Locker are our 2 highest selling retailers. And for labeling, what I would do here is I would click on the label shelf, turn on my mark labels, and I'm going to align those to the left to put them inside of the bars. Just gives us a bit more space. And then I'm going to right-click on the axis and uncheck Show Header. In the final workbook you're going to see, you'll notice that the grid lines are cleaned up, the fonts are a bit bigger. I'm going to leave all of that up to you to figure out. Now let's move on to our map. We've got this really messy pie chart of sales by product. So really, all we want to look at is maybe state-level sales. So let's take city off of the view. Let's change the mark type to a map. And let's take product off of the view. And we'll take total sales and move that to color. And there we go. That's a much simpler map. And if you want to clean it up even further, right-click on the map and choose your background layers. And I like to drag the washout over to 100% because that removes the background. Looks a lot neater, I think. And then let's just take this bubble chart and make it a much easier chart to understand. The size of bubbles are really, really difficult to compare. For this one, I'm going to drag the sales method up to the rows. I'm going to move my total sales to the columns. I'm going to change my mark type to a bar. Sort descending. Make it fit the entire view. And if you want, like the other bar chart, go ahead and click on the label shelf and move the labels to the left. That's usually a good idea for consistency. And then we can go ahead and hide the axis. Let's go back to our dashboard. And right away, you can see how much cleaner this dashboard is. We haven't addressed all of the charts, but you should get an idea on how we've made this much simpler and we've used color much more effectively. We no longer have those rainbows all over the place. That one shift makes the dashboard feel cleaner and much more intentional. Once the colors stop fighting for attention, the next problem becomes a lot easier to see. Mistake number 2 is trying to fit everything into one view. This happens all the time. Someone builds 10 worksheets, works hard on all of them, and then feels like all 10 should go on the dashboard. The result is a wall of charts that overwhelms the user before they even know where to look. Just because you can fit more on the screen doesn't mean you should. A dashboard should help someone answer a question quickly. If every inch of space is filled, the signal quickly gets buried. A simple rule I like is the rule of 4. If you have more than 4 elements competing for attention, there's a good chance the dashboard is doing too much. So here's what I do here. I think about the charts that I actually need. This still feels really, really busy to me. But for an overview dashboard, do we really need to see price versus sales? This is much more of an analytical chart. So let's go ahead and remove that from the dashboard. And this one at the bottom, region versus retailer. Well, that's really the combination of this bar chart up here on the right and this map down here on the left. So we can figure out another way to make those work together. So let's go ahead and remove that sheet as well. Now the dashboard is much clearer, it has plenty of room to breathe, and it helps make it much easier for the right insights to come to the front. This is where the dashboard stops being about layout and more about judgment. Mistake number 3 is building the dashboard for yourself rather than the person that actually needs to use it. This is one of the biggest reasons dashboards fail. The creator knows where everything is, understands every chart, and thinks the dashboard makes sense. But the stakeholder opening it for the very first time has a completely different experience. They're not asking how much work went into this. They're asking, can I get the answer I need quickly? So the fix here is to start with the question, not with the charts. What does the person need to know? What decisions are they trying to make? What should stand out in the first 5 seconds? So what could we do in this case? Well, on the right-hand side, we could probably remove all of these filters and the color. Let's go ahead and get rid of that container. And then let's just simply change our title. Let's double-click on the title, and let's rewrite this in the form of a question. So we want to say something like, which retailers, states, and channels are impacting sales trends? So now the user knows right when they come into this dashboard what they're looking at. So let's click OK, and we actually need to change the titles for our sheets as well now because we've changed these. So the sheet on the upper left, let's call this our monthly sales. The sheet on the upper right, let's call this one Top Retailers by Sales. Let's rename our map Sales by State. And lastly, let's rename the bottom right sheet to Sales Source. Click on OK. And while I'm here, I see a couple of little things. I'm going to get rid of these field labels for the rows on both of my bar charts. Okay, as a reminder, I put the practice workbook for this video in the description below. So if you want to rebuild this and work through the fixes yourself, go ahead and click on that link to get it. Once you're clear on what the dashboard actually needs to do, the next challenge is to make sure the layout supports that rather than getting in the way. Mistake number 4 is overcomplicating the layout. This is where a lot of beginners get stuck in what I call container hell. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to create a new dashboard. And what a new user might do is go ahead and turn on the dashboard title. And then they'll just start dropping sheets into the dashboard, right? Things like that, just kind of haphazardly dropping things into the dashboard. Okay, doesn't look too bad. But if you go over here to the Layout tab, you'll see you've got stuck in container hell. We've got all these different containers that really we don't need. It becomes quite a mess for anybody else to maintain. Before long, the dashboard becomes hard to edit, hard to move, and harder than it should be to maintain. The fix is not using more containers. It's using fewer with more intention. If the dashboard has a clear purpose, then the layout should reflect that clearly. I can assure you that simple structure always wins and is always appreciated by your stakeholders. Let's take a look at how we would build this dashboard with containers. I'm going to create a new dashboard. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to go to my dashboard tab, and I'm going to start by just floating in a vertical container. And then I move it to the upper left-hand corner and set it to the same size as the dashboard. And there we go. That's the first step. And I'll go ahead and add maybe 10 pixels of inner padding, just to give it a bit of breathing room off the sides. From here, I'm going to drag a text box into the container. And for now, I'm just going to type in the word title. I could just copy it over from my previous sheet. Okay, great. I like the size of that, so I'm going to go ahead and pin it. So now I need to decide, how do I want to lay out the rest of my containers? So first, I already have this vertical container here that's around the whole dashboard. And then I've got 2 sheets that need to go side by side here, and another 2 sheets that are going to go side by side here. So that's how I'm going to lay out my containers. So I'll drag a horizontal container into the dashboard, and I'm going to drag my sales sheet into that container, and then to the right of that, I'm going to have my sales by retailer. Okay? And then if I double click the header, I can then set these to distribute the contents evenly, so they both use the same space. I would also add a bit of padding and things like that, but I'll leave that up to you, and if you download the workbook, you'll see what I did. And then I need to drag in another horizontal container, but inside of that overall vertical container, and I'm going to drag in my sales by state, and then my sales by method. And again, I'm going to double click the header and distribute the contents evenly. From here, I just need to adjust the size. Let me move that up a bit. Okay, looks pretty good. So now if I go back over to my layout tab, notice I've got much cleaner containers here, but I do have this one extra tile here. This is actually holding the filter controls and the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that from the dashboard. And there we go, a much simpler layout. And even if the dashboard looks cleaner now, there's one more mistake that can still make it feel amateur. And that brings us to our final mistake. Mistake number 5 is creating the dashboard like a static image instead of something people are supposed to interact with. This is Tableau. It should feel responsive. It should help people explore the data. But a lot of beginner dashboards either do nothing when you click on them, or they still rely on default behaviors that make it feel pretty clunky. The fix is to think about functionality as part of the design. If someone clicks on a bar, what should happen next? Should the other sheets highlight? Should the other sheets filter? Should some kind of detailed view come up? Should the action guide there somewhere else that's useful? So how would I do this? So first off, I want to go ahead and have my top retailer sheet act like a filter across the rest of the sheets. So while I have this sheet selected, I'm just going to use Tableau's built-in filter. Go ahead and click on this Use as Filter button. So now when I click on a retailer, you'll see all of the other sheets get updated. What I would do is make sure that I put something as a subheader that tells the user what they could do. So inside of the title, I'm going to say, click a bar to filter. And let's go ahead and make that maybe like a 10-point font. Hit OK. And you could do the same thing for the sales source. Maybe we want to filter there as well. And perhaps the sales by state, right? I'm just going to use simple filters on each of these sheets. So I can decide, okay, California looks like it has the most sales. What's the trend there? So it looks like our biggest sales source is outlets. So if I click on that, I can see that Westgear and Kohl's are my largest retailers. And then to reset the view, all I need to do is click off in the white space. So if you step back, none of these mistakes are about Tableau being hard. They're about making better decisions about what belongs in the dashboard, what deserves attention, and how the user is supposed to interact with it. So those are the 5 biggest mistakes I see beginners make when building Tableau dashboards. The good news is, none of those are hard to fix once you know what to look for. And in my experience, making even a few of those small changes will make your dashboards look much more professional. If you want to practice this yourself, I've put together the practice workbook for this video and linked it below. Download it, open it up in Tableau, and use it to work through these fixes on your own. And if layout is the part you struggle with most, watch my containers video next, because that's another big area where beginners usually get stuck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.